Alright, how's everyone doing? So right now we're going to be talking about the top 5 things that I believe should be in the new Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi 4 game. Now, this is just my opinion on what the game needs. Just from experience, whether it's good or bad. Just my opinions. Have your opinions, please post them in the comments below. I would love to hear about them. I know a lot of people are excited about this game. I am definitely. It's been a long time since we got a Tenkaichi game, so I am 100% looking forward to playing this game. I know it probably won't come out till sometime next year. It'd be a miracle if it came out at the end of this year for Christmas, but I highly doubt it. But yeah, anyway, let's start with the first thing that I think this game needs. And to me, I think what the game needs is to keep the original formula of what Tenkaichi is. And when I say original formula, I'm talking about gameplay mechanics. Now, they don't have to be exactly like Tenkaichi 3, but like Raging Blast was very similar to Tenkaichi. Tenkaichi 1, 2, and 3 were all very similar to each other with just a little bit of minor differences. But I don't want it to be like Ultimate Tenkaichi, where it was all Tenkaichi, but it wasn't a Tenkaichi style game. It was just rock, paper, scissors, and whoever had the best luck obviously won the battle. It didn't really take any skill. Not that, it's a super competitive game, but I don't know. I believe that keeping the formula of what Tenkaichi really is, I think is number 1 on my list. And now also number 1 meaning keeping the formula, the character roster. I don't expect the roster to be 200 or 150 to 200 characters right off the start. I mean, if they did that, they wouldn't really make any money, and it wouldn't really make any sense for them to do that. Because games nowadays are all about, DLC content and making money. And Bandai, they're not they're not going to give us all the characters at start and say, here's your game, enjoy. They're not going to do that. I personally don't see them doing that, but yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that at all. If anything, I would love to see maybe at least 100 characters. I know Tenkaichi 3, I think, had like 150, maybe a little bit more than 150 characters from Dragon Ball GT. But maybe giving us 100 characters to start off. That way, they have like a 5-year plan on releasing DLC content, within Super or GT and Dragon Ball, which I'm really hoping that Dragon Ball characters are in this game. I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of Dragon Ball. Me personally, I didn't really grow up with the OG Dragon Ball, but I think having more characters like they did in the older Tenkaichis would really be nice. Well, that's my number 1, keeping the original formula. Number 2 for me would be, I know this is a controversial thing, but to me, number 2 would be CACs. I actually want CACs in the game, but then I don't want CACs. Those who you don't know, because I've seen comments about this all the time, people don't know what CACs mean. It pretty much means your, quote, creative character. Like in Xenoverse, your own character that you take through the story. Firstly, the reason why I say no CACs, 2 CACs, and I'll start with the no CACs, because I'm still controversial on this. Like, I want CAC, but then I don't. But I think I don't want to be, stingy towards the community, and just say, oh no, we don't need this, because I see both sides of the picture of the coin on like why people like their own characters. So to start off with, like, why I don't like CACs in the game, coming from me, I want this game to be successful. So that's why I want, like, my opinion in this and like other people's opinion. I'll explain like how they actually work in a game like this with both people's views of no CACs and CACs. Now, the no CACs, I'm talking about like the cheesiness of the CACs. I don't think the CACs should be in PvP, ranking system. I don't think they should be in any of that. Me personally, I think that's what ruined Xenoverse for me was, you would go in with Goku and you would fight like a CAC which you could probably already see on the screen. I'm versing some CACs right now, and they just do like the cheesiest moves. To me, it's just not, it doesn't even seem like a Dragon Ball game to me. It just seems like, hey, who can make the dumbest, overpowered character and actually win the match? I mean, if you had like an original cast character, you had a hard time beating a Majin that just had super armor and would just spam a bunch of brokenness stuff at you, and you're sitting there like, oh, I can't do anything. So to me, that's what kind of ruined it for me. And I kind of have a comment here on my screen as well. I was talking to some people. I'll just post this one up, but it kind of explains like why people also don't want CACs, and they're kind of in the same boat as me on why they don't want CACs. Now, the inclusion of CACs is, I think they should be in the game, but maybe just for story mode. Like, I think the only good thing about Ultimate Tenkaichi that I liked about Tenkaichi was, like, I didn't hate the character creation in Ultimate Tenkaichi. It wasn't the greatest. Obviously, it was limited. You know, it was back then where, you know, the character creation was just fairly new in the Dragon Ball games. And I think that having them in story mode and having their own little story, you know, interacting with the original characters, the original cast of Dragon Ball Z, Super, GT, I think that's pretty cool and that's fun. And I think it gives the other side of the spectrum, the people who like that, making their own characters, to be in the game. So, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to be super biased, but at the same time, it's, you know, I see both views on like why people ACs, and then like me and other people I've seen who don't like CACs. So to sum that one up, yeah, have CACs, but have them in their own story mode, or maybe have their own multiplayer mode, if that, so people can go crazy with each other and cheese each other all day. But to me, even that might just kind of ruin the fun of the game. I think just maybe just keep them in story mode and have just the original cast characters, the original Dragon Ball story characters, be in the multiplayer aspect of the game. And that kind of ties in to my third reason that my third thing that I want in this new Tenkaichi game is team battles with friends. Now, I know a lot of people didn't like Battle Z, but Battle Z holds a special place in my heart because it's where I met some really nice people who I'm still friends with today. And the video that I have shown right now is one of my friends, Stonekiller. Me and him used to play Battle Z all the time. You know, we became good friends over the years. And like I said, I know a lot of people didn't like Battle Z, but just meeting someone from Battle Z and having some friends you can have for life is really good. But just the team aspect of Battle Z is what I liked. And I think if this game had those team battles, it would be so much fun. I know Xenoverse had team battles, which was fine, but I think what drew me away from Xenoverse, like I said, was the CACs and how I felt like, you know, me and my friend would pick cast characters and we wouldn't really have as much fun as we did playing Battle of Z. But yeah, I think team battles would be a really great inclusion. We never had that in a Tenkaichi game, but I think nowadays with gaming, it's almost like a necessity to have multiplayer, unless the game is like Kakarot or like, you know, like a game like that where it's like a JRPG, single player, just, you know, collecting things for your character, you know, stuff like that, which I like. Kakarot, it's one of my favorite games. But obviously, we're not here to talk about Kakarot. But I mean, I love Kakarot. You know, single player is good. If I'm in the mood to play a really good single player DBZ game, I'll go to that. But yeah, just having team battles would be fun again. You know, Tenkaichi is such a beloved series, and we never had team battles. And I think if we had an option, have, you know, team battles, and obviously an option for not team battles, that would be great. And when I mean team battles, obviously Tenkaichi, or I know Raging Blast had team battles to where it was you can pick multiple characters that you can play with on a team, which I think that would be great. It'd be great to have that inclusion as well. I would love to just play with some friends, just have a good time. You know, I'm picking my Gohan, my friend's picking his Goku, and we're just going off on people. You know, he's punching someone in the face, and then I go up to to the guy that he's punching in and just Kamehameha him in the face. And, you know, such a hype game deserves to be shared with someone, not by yourself, if that makes sense. You know, just bring the community together, let people team up with their friends and just have a good time, you know. And that's one of the things that I really want. I know I have the list as number 3, but that can easily be also like number 1 or number 2, or right next to number 1, because obviously I want to keep the original formula if they go that route. The fourth thing, and I know some people want to see this as well, is the inclusion of the Dragon Ball Super Story Mode. Now, I know we have never had a Dragon Ball Super Story Mode game where it would literally start off with Battle of Gods and go all the way to possibly the Tournament of Power. I mean, that'd be awesome. I don't see them adding like the manga stuff, like the Moral Arc or Granola, just because we haven't gotten that here yet. But if this game turns out to be like a 3 to 5 year game, which I'm pretty sure it will. I mean, Xenoverse is still going strong, and that game came out, I think, in 2016, 2017, I think. I forgot like when it came out. It was around like that time. And that game is still going somewhat strong in the community. So I could see Tenkaichi going strong for a long time. But yeah, just having the Super Story Mode would just be great. It's never been in a Dragon Ball game. And it would just be obviously more content that's already in the game as it is. Like, can you imagine Budokai 3 right now? They actually have like modders who put the Super Story Mode in, as you can probably see on the screen. And to me, that's like just awesome, you know, to have see that the modders can do. I mean, if the modders in the community can put Dragon Ball Super Story Mode in an old game and just mess with the the cosmetics, make their own Goku Black or their own Zamasu or their own hit, and actually just do that from scratch. I don't see why Bandai can't do that. Now, I don't know if I expect Super to be released as in the whole story right away. I think that future DLC would be it'd probably be better for the longevity of the game, because like I said, you don't want to add. People are expecting, I want all my characters right away. I want all the story mode right away. It's like, you're going to get bored eventually. You know, you have to give the developers something to add to the game. You know, maybe just do the whole Dragon Ball Z saga and maybe add in like GT, at start. I can see that happening. But then doing like things like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Super as like DLCs, kind of like what they did with Kakarot on how you somewhat have like a Battle of Gods DLC. Then they added in the Frieza, Dragon Ball Golden Frieza arc. They had that, which I thought was pretty cool. And then they also did like a middle ground where it was Future Gohan, which I think is really cool story to have in Kakarot. I was actually really surprised that they would add it as something like that. But that would be really cool to have, just the Dragon Ball Super content, and in any content, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, but in increments, especially the Super, maybe just release Battle of Gods first for a DLC, and hopefully they can really put the, like, not so much effort, obviously you want effort, but more of like content. Don't make Battle of Gods super short, like actually make it long, even throw in some filler stuff, like I don't know, I can't even think of anything, but just I don't want it to be a short DLC. Make these DLCs long. But yeah, that was my fourth thing. Now my last thing I want to talk about, I know a lot of people like this as well, I'm not the only one, is crossplay. And I don't see this new Dragon Ball game being on the old gen consoles like PS4 and Xbox One. Xbox One. I don't see them doing that. Really, it wouldn't make any sense, because those hardwares are obviously outdated, and they're making this is the first DBZ game for next gen. So obviously PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, which I play most of my games on PC now. I do have an Xbox, but I don't play it as often. Since I got a PC, that's usually all I usually play my games on. So have crossplay between that, because I have most of my friends are on PlayStation, but I didn't really want to invest in a PS5 because I had a PC. I know that's one of the big things also, like if they do add multiplayer teams, I want to be crossplay, because I have a lot of friends on PlayStation, and I think that will also grow the game super multiplayer game. Have the Xbox, PC, and Sony people just all playing like Tenkaichi. The game's just gonna be not gonna take that long to find a match. You know, if you're playing on PC, you know, I know a lot of people don't have PS5 right now. It's super hard to get. Even today is still super hard, I think. Or it's like really expensive still for certain people. So a lot of people still play on PS4. But so if people who buy it for PS5, you know, I don't know how big the community is gonna be. I know Xbox is obviously easier to obtain, so that's why like crossplay would just really help this game out and just keep the longevity of the game, in my opinion. But yeah, I know a lot of people are super excited for this Tenkaichi 4 that everyone's calling it. Who knows what they're gonna call it? Obviously, it's a new Tenkaichi game. I'm super excited for it. I know you are. I guess we're just going to call it Tenkaichi 4 for now until we get more news. I'm really looking forward to more gameplay. But yeah, Tenkaichi 4, those are my top 5 things that I really want in the game. And I hope they add them. And like I said, if you guys have any of your opinions, please post them in the comments. I would love to hear them. I would love to hear like what your top 5 things are. Or maybe just add on to like the top 5 things. Maybe you want these same top 5, but you want, you know, more things as well. So yeah, that's it for me, guys. I hope you guys all have a great day. And I'll see you all in the next video. All right, peace.